الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن يرغب عن ملة إبراهيم إلا من سفه نفسه ولقد اصطفيناه في الدنيا وإنه في الآخرة لمن الصالحين إذ قال له ربه أسلم قال أسلمت لرب العالمين صدق الله العظيم. Respected elders, dear brothers and sisters, regarding ayat number 130 of Surat al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, وَمَنْ يَرْغَبُ عَنْ مِلَّةِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ إِلَّا مَنْ سَفِهَ نَفْسَهُ. And who will turn away from the millat of Ibrahim alayhi salam, from the system left behind by Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, by the way of life, the millah, or the way of life, and the code of life that was laid down and shown to us by Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Who will turn away from this code of life, or from this way of life? إِلَّا مَنْ سَفِهَ نَفْسَهُ, except for that person who will be sorry against himself, or who has done a foolish thing against themselves. Which makes it clear that only those people who don't realize the importance of success and don't understand what success is, in their foolishness and in their ignorance, they will turn away from the millat and the way of life or code of life that was left behind by Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. When we speak about success or falah, success basically has two parts. If either part is missing, so a person is not successful. You have to have a decent, good life in this dunya, in this world. That is one part of success. But more important than the life of this dunya is the everlasting life of the hereafter. And a truly successful person is someone who in this dunya has a good life, but they use the time of this dunya to build for themselves a perpetual bliss in the hereafter. And this is evident from this ayah of Surat al-Baqarah and in a few other places in Surat al-Baqarah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes this fact very, very clear. And this is also a very unique characteristic of Surah Al-Baqarah, explaining success in very simple and easy terms. Here in ayat number 130, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the standard of success through the example of the millat of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. and makes it very clear for us that Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was truly successful. In the next portion of this ayah, ayat number 130, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, وَلَقَدْ اصْطَفَيْنَاهُ فِي الدُّنْيَا. And definitely we selected him in the life of this world. In this dunya, in this world, we selected him, made him a Nabi, made him a Rasul, a messenger, a prophet. We selected him as an Imam because of his sincerity. And the fact that he was Hanif, he was turning away from anything and everything that involved the disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this was at a time when kufr and disbelief were rampant in that society. So it's not as if everyone around him was Muslim, so he did this. But in reality, he gave very, very great sacrifice. And having this resolve and turning away from all different forms of kufr and disbelief and shirk. And being Hanif, being very sincere to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So because of that sincerity, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him a very beautiful selection in this dunya, in this world. He had a good life in this dunya. The success of this dunya, the success of this world is measured by a few standards. And if those standards are fulfilled, so then a person is truly successful in this dunya, in this world. And if any one of those standards is missing or incomplete, so then a person will either have partial success in this dunya, in this world, or they will not have any success at all in this world, in this dunya. A person's success in this world is measured by the understanding of very, very basic few things that a person has to understand. A person's success is measured by their honor and respect. This is very important. And we'll go over some of these details again. But in the worldly life, in this dunya, in this world, honor and respect is very important. Then comes a person's health. In fact, that is the greatest wealth. How healthy a person takes care of themselves, tries their best to take care of their health. And the health is a very, very great blessing. Then comes the avenues of wealth. So these three major factors, and it's not about 1, 2, and 3 in matter of which one is more important than the other. They're equally important, but these are the different categories that we human beings, from a worldly standpoint, we determine a person's success. They all have their own subcategories. Coming to honor and respect, the first category. It is because of this honor and respect that we human beings are very, very particular and very, very punctual about education. We have found in this time and age and in this era, those people who have an education, they have a degree. then they'll have a certain position in society as far as respect is concerned. The more prestigious the university, the more prestigious the institution, the more prestigious whichever other forms of avenue of getting that degree, the more value that degree will have. And again, based on which field we are in. So then different universities and different institutions may have different value, different standards. A medical degree, status of a medical degree from a particular institution may be very different than a law degree from the same university, and so on and so forth. So a mark of distinction, honor and respect from day one as human beings. Sometimes it is selfish. The parents want their children to go to the best universities because the parents may have not made it themselves, but they want that their name is also mentioned, that these were the parents who took care of the education of their children and their children reach such high positions. Or sometimes it is truly for the betterment of the future of life of the children. Whatever the case might be and whatever the motive might be. But honor and respect in this dunya is very, very important. This is what distinguishes us from the animal world. The animals, they don't have this much care for honor and respect. Some have a moral code, most don't. But as insan, as human beings, we have a moral code. There are many things that we may be allowed to do, but we'll be ashamed if people found out about those things. This is human nature. There are some who don't have any shame. They don't feel it. They don't care about their personal honor and respect. So in this world, they're also disgraced, even though they may hold positions very high up in whatever position they may be in, but they don't have any shame. But the vast majority of insan, of human beings, the first thing that they care about is honor and respect. And this is what we strive for most of our life. We also feel that everything else is tied to this respect. A person's salary, a person's wealth, a person's home, a person's vehicle, whatever, so many different factors. We tie in with this honor and respect. Even job status, job position, particular company we might work at. Everyone is striving to get the top position in their company, but also striving to be in the best company in their particular field. Rarely will you find someone go from a very prestigious company and then they'll go into a lower position, but it doesn't happen often. It's very rare. So honor and respect. It's a very, very essential and very, very crucial point of human life. And anytime that is put on the line, it can become very, very difficult for a person's position and very difficult psychologically. This was one of the tests of the Anbiya alayhim salam, of the prophets and messengers, who were very, very honorable people, the most honorable human beings. They never lied, they never cheated, they never did anything that was haram in any way. But when they started their mission of nubuwwah and prophethood, and the people started calling them names, all sorts of accusations, many of them were very, very difficult psychologically. Because if there's a very trustworthy person who has never cheated anyone in their life, and who has never told a lie in their life, a very honorable person, and someone in the society spreads blasphemy against this person, spreads false rumors and lies against this person, So it is a very, very difficult thing psychologically. And someone will go around and call a very trustworthy person, call a very, very honorable person, a very respectful person, a truthful person. Someone will go about and start spreading lies and rumors that this person is a liar or a thief or whatever other names they can use. So for the trustworthy person, it's very difficult to bear. The aspect of honor and respect in human life, in human society. This is what we strive for our whole life. This is why the children, for those who care about their futures, and particularly many who come from other countries, great effort is put on getting the best grades. Some even, the children, they're so particular about it. They care about the difference between getting a 99% or getting the 100%. That 1% matters to them. They're very particular about it. Why? Because they understand their honor and reputation is on the line. So honor and respect, measurement of success in this dunya. You may have a person who may have a lot of wealth, but he's not honorable. He has no shame. So people don't respect him. And that person in reality cannot even be considered someone successful. No one will say that that person is successful just because they have wealth, but they have no shame. Everyone hates them, and on many, many occasions everyone is fed up with them. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about this measurement of success in this dunya, in this world, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the example of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. وَلَقَدْ اصْطَفَيْنَاهُ فِي الدُّنْيَا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selected Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam fi dunya, in this world. Gave him a very, very great status. In another ayah in Surah An-Nahl, at the ending of Surah An-Nahl, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us an example of that life of this dunya, the life of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. And it's amazing, check the words that are used in the Quran also. As believers, as Muslim, what we always say is we make this dua which is mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً. Oh our Rabb, give us in this world. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيا حَسَنَةً. Give us in this dunya what is best. Give us the best in this world. وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً. And give us what is best in the akhirah. وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. And save us from the fire, meaning the fire of this dunya and the fire of the akhirah. So we ask for hasana. Hasana means what is good, what is best. This is what we're making dua for. And many of us, this has become our main dua. It's very, very beautiful, very comprehensive dua. Sometimes in our life, we may see something that may not be good for us, but in reality it is good for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us this example. وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُوا شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ وَعَسَىٰ أَن تُحِبُّوا شَيْئًا وَهُوَ شَرٌّ لَكُمْ وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Many a times you hate something, but it is good for you. And many times you love something, but it is bad for you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows and you don't know. That is why I ask for good in this dunya, ask for hasana in this world. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah An-Nahl, He tells us very clearly, after mentioning the qualities of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, He tells us about the position of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. وَآتَيْنَاهُ فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنًا. And we gave to Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam in this dunya, in this world, we gave him hasana, we gave him good, what is best. He was given iman and belief from the very beginning. That is the best. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him very few followers, 2 or 3 followers in the beginning. One was his wife Sarah radiallahu anha, so he was given a very obedient wife, a very righteous wife, who was ready to follow him and listen to him and be obedient to him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also made his nephew a Nabi, a prophet, Lut alayhi salam. So he was given a very, very good and righteous wife. And he was given a second wife also that was very, very righteous. So that is also hasana, the best of this world that someone can have. Then he was given children, and those children were made anbiya alayhimus salam. Another hasana. Another best gift that someone can be given. There are many who have children, but their children are not what they should be. So that is another hasana in this world that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided for Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam halal sustenance. He used to have his own work, his own business. He used to work at his own farm and he would take care of things. So halal sustenance, halal rizq, simple life. But he made great effort and a lot of sacrifices. So again, hasana, beautiful life. And these are the points of success in this dunya. There are many people who are not given iman. They don't have iman, so they don't have any good. Or they may have good in them, but they're not given iman. There are many who have iman, but the iman is not strong. It's very weak. There's a lot of doubts. It's also, again, difficult life. It's not hasana. It's not the best. There are many who have spouses, but their spouses are not righteous. Their spouses are not obedient. There are many, many problems. This is also what is meant in that dua in Surat al-Baqarah when we say, وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ, that oh Allah, save us from the fire. Save us from the fire of this dunya, the fire of this world. The first fire of this world is when someone does not have iman, or their iman is weak and they're left with doubts, and those doubts lead them into depression. It's a very, very great adhab. It's a fire. It's Jahannam. All the whole world, people become hopeless. People become completely mayus. They say completely hopeless. The world becomes a very dark place for them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save all of us. So that is one fire in this dunya, one fire in this world. Another fire in the dunya, another fire in this world is when the spouses, they do not have mahabba, or they do not have any kind of love. And this is spouse, husband and wife, not just wife, but husband and wife. Where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not put that kind of mawaddatan wa rahmah. Mentioned in the ayat of the Quran, where there is mutual understanding, there's love, there's this care. The hearts are void of that. So then that is not hasana, that is not good. And often a time, even the life becomes very, very difficult to bear. Person is always trying to find any reason just to leave the home. And when we're not comfortable somewhere, we just want to make any excuse to get out of that place. Why? Because we're not comfortable. Many people in their homes are not comfortable. They try to find any reason to escape or just to get out. Because that mawaddatan wa rahmah is not in those homes. And that mawaddatan wa rahmah, remember, that mutual love and understanding and care and what should be between the spouses, this will only come when there's deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that home. And it requires one very unique quality of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-Imran regarding Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَظًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ لَانْفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ. What a beautiful statement and beautiful formula Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us in the Quran. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ. And it is with the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you are very kind and lenient to them. لِنْتَ لَهُمْ, you're very, very, very kind. You don't try to enforce your will on people. Again, this is about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his dealing with the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum. And again, this extends also to the family. It's a very, very important lesson for us. Don't try to force your spouse to be someone that they're not. At the same time, try and give encouragement, do it with kindness. Try and make them understand. So again, لِنْتَ لَهُمْ, kind. وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَظًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ لَانْفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَظًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ. And if you were very strict and harsh in your heart, some people, they're so, you're not. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is told in this ayah that if you are harsh and strict and very tough-hearted, لَنْفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ. Sahaba radiallahu anhum would never have come around you. Meaning they would never have loved you, they would never have wanted to be in your company. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was so kind, so loving, so merciful in his heart. And lenient. He wasn't so hard-hearted one way, no. Very lenient, very, very nice. He was so kind that you always wanted to be in his company. If the children were there, the children always wanted to be in his company. If he was with his family, they wanted to be in his company. If he was with the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they wanted to be in his company. Anytime he would leave, so everyone would want to crave to be with him. Why? Very kind, very nice, ready to listen to everyone. Sahaba were not afraid to talk to him. You know, sometimes we become so airheaded. We think that we're so great that why is somebody talking to me in a certain way? There were Sahaba radiallahu anhum who used to come to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and ask him such things that we would be afraid or ashamed if someone told us something like this. We would feel weird that what is this person talking about? But Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he didn't scold them or didn't fight with them. In a very, very kind way, he made them understand. And that's what made it so easy for people to communicate with him, to want to talk to him, to want to express their feelings to him. It was very loving, very easy to talk to. You could express your ideas to him. Not that he was so hard-hearted that somebody would come and ask a question, he would criticize them and critique them and nothing else. No. He was not like this. Very lenient, very loving. Sahabi came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Youth, one of the youth came. Openly said that, I want you to give me permission that I can go and commit major sins of zina and fornication. What a strange question. A major sin in Islam. And the Sahabi was coming and asking for permission to do that. If it was one of us, just imagine what our reaction would be. We'd get so angry at, who are you? Why are you talking like that? No. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam kindly looked at the youth and said that, what do you want that someone ever does something like that with your sibling or with your mother? The youth, he said, no, never. I'll never let someone think of even doing something like that. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam put his blessed hand on the heart of this youth Sahabi and made a dua that, oh Allah, purify his heart. And after that, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they said, we never saw someone who had more hatred for zina and fornication and these immodesty and immorality and immoral acts more than this Sahabi, more than this youth. What a beautiful character that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam had. Even the wives of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, they used to joke around with him. There was a Sahabi, he was a prankster, you know. The Sahabi, I used to do pranks. Somebody pranks us, how do we feel? We become so like angry, oh, this person pranked me. The Sahabi used to play pranks on Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It's famous, no, Nu'ayman radiallahu anhu, famous Sahabi. One time the Sahabi, Nu'ayman radiallahu anhu, he went and there was a caravan that was passing by, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam just mentioned the fruit from that caravan coming from an area where some nice fruits. So this Sahabi went, and after a little while brought fruit and put it in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that here's some fruit for you. You said you really liked it. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he ate the fruit. And the other Sahaba, they started looking at one another that this Sahabi Nu'ayman, he doesn't have even the money to buy himself food. Where did he get these fruits from, you know? He was not a wealthy Sahabi. So after a little while, a man came from the caravan and said that, who's going to pay for the fruits? And everyone looked at him, so what are you talking about? So he came straight up to Nu'ayman and he said, you took the fruits and said you will pay me. Nu'ayman radiallahu anhu, he took that person to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And he said, oh Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the fruits you ate, did you like them? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, yes, they were very good fruits, I liked them. And Nu'ayman radiallahu anhu said, okay, now pay this person because you ate the fruits, I didn't eat the fruits. What a prank. He made Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam eat the fruits and then have to pay for it. And everyone was laughing. And even Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he smiled. He said, what have you done? But he paid for it. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam paid for the fruits and just smiled. Okay, no problem, you know. So this was the kind of, even Sahaba used to feel comfortable to do that. They would not become so rigid and so harsh. Oh, no. So this is why I have kind heart. This is also the qualities of success. Inshallah, we'll go into more details about the success of the dunya, and then we'll talk about the success of the akhirah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of us the tawfiq to practice the deen. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغِ. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم نور قلوبنا بالقرآن وزين أخلاقنا بالقرآن ونجنا من النار بالقرآن وادخلنا في الجنة بالقرآن. اللهم اجعل القرآن لنا في الدنيا قرينا وفي القبر مونسا وعلى الصراط نورا وفي الجنة رفيقا ومن النار سترا وحجابا. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.